Hey guys, Furum here, and today I'm going to be testing the Porsche 935 at Golden Max in Ghost Slipstream multiplayer. Please consider subscribing if you have not already, and be sure to check out my Furum Clips channel, Furum TV channel, and my Purple Team Discord. Links to all those will be down in the description, and I hope you enjoy the video. I recorded these races around the time when this car first came out in MP2 against cars like the Tuatara and the Cento Dieci, and other cars that you wouldn't normally expect this car would be able to compete against really much at all. And one thing I can say is that this car definitely makes up for its lack of speed in a lot of cases with its agility. Because as you can see here, like, I had so many instances where I would almost drift too much and hit the inside just because of how sharply this car drifts. The handling was pretty good too, although not as good as the drifting was, and the acceleration is quite good as well. The downside, however, as I mentioned before, is that this car's top speed is not the best. 227 miles per hour in Class A is certainly not great. And here, this Valkyrie, I thought passed me at the last second, but for some reason, I actually came in first here. We came in at the exact same frame. That's rare, but when it happens, I always want to make sure to put it in a video because, well, it's so rare. Now, I realized very early on that the 935 is like the exact opposite sort of car you would normally want to use in a season like this. Go Slipstream against like one of the kings of the game, the Tuatara, and then the Cento Dieci, which I also record some races in. Might make a video about that if I have time. So because of that, I decided to test this car at least somewhat in the lower leagues to see if that would sort of make up for the insane difference in car speed. I mean, the Tuatara is basically 100 miles per hour faster than me, and in Go Slipstream, it can reach that a lot of the time. So yeah, that's why these first few races are in lower leagues. But I would say we did get some pretty good competition out of these overall. Had a lot of fun driving this car, and it's actually honestly one of the more fun cars I think that we've gotten in recent times. You know, one car that it reminds me a lot of, at least in terms of the looks, is the SPEEDTAIL. Obviously, it's got this super long back end. But I wouldn't necessarily compare it to the SPEEDTAIL in terms of driving. It definitely feels less, I guess, bouncy than the SPEEDTAIL does. It's certainly very agile and all around like that. And I mean, see, at the beginning of the race here, you can easily just, you know, turn back and forth to get the slipstream of the cars. Some cars, it's maybe slightly more difficult to do that. This car, you can do it super easy. I did manage to win this car, but it might be one that I go for in the future without spending a whole lot of tokens on it because it's not going to be a King of A class or anything. It is simply too slow for that. And the acceleration is, while good, is not like great enough to make up for that in an events sense. It does do quite well, I found, in at least a lot of the multiplayer races that I played in it. In other Asphalt kind of news on my end, since I know I have not made a video in a while, I've been busy studying for an exam which I will be taking in early September, so in just about, well, actually 4 weeks exactly from the time I'm recording this. After that, I should have a lot more time to make videos. As you guys know, or as many of you guys may know, I am currently now working as an actuary after graduating college, and they require you to take a sequence of exams. I'm currently on my 4th one out of 10. So yeah, there may be certain times throughout my YouTube career, which isn't really my career, it's more of a hobby at this point, which it always really was. But anyways, there may be some points in there where I am studying for exams, such as this one, where the videos might not come quite as often. I want to spend as much time as I can studying to make sure I can pass, because it takes many hundreds of hours, and I don't really want to have to go through all that again to take it again the second time. I got completely off topic there, but back to what I was going to say originally. In other Asphalt news, I've unlocked the second car in the Drive Syndicate so far. I'm going to try to at least unlock the 600 LT and the Noble. I'm going to see how far I can get in them, and my strategy of using wildcards has worked out super well so far. On the Jaguar, I believe that's the second car is a Jaguar, right? Hope I'm not getting that completely wrong. I was able to use 10 wildcards for my 1-star car, and then 10 more wildcards at 2 stars too. So basically I got 20 free blueprints for that car that I don't have to waste tens, probably, of thousands of Syndicate coins getting. Another thing that I probably will do is request more wild cards. in the club chat. Now, obviously, don't do this if, I don't even know if the game lets you, I haven't tried it, but if you have 10, that's the cap you can get. So once you use them, that's when you can request more. But yeah, going well so far. I've gotten a little bit behind in it, but I'm going to certainly see how far I can get. Not expecting jackpots this time because I got 2 jackpots, I believe, in the last Drive Syndicate, either the last one or the previous one before that. So I'm not expecting my luck to continue into this one, but it should be fun regardless. And I'm going to be using the Regera special event as a way to get some more tokens for it, because I'm sure I'm going to have to spend some tokens on Syndicate coins for it. I was having a pretty tight battle with this Huera R at the end of this race. I was able to get ahead of him with the better acceleration, but then that car is able to get slightly ahead of me, but then I passed him again. A lot of back and forth happens with Ghost Slipstream, as you guys know. Thankfully, I was able to pull a bit more ahead at the end and cross the finish line in first in this race. Speaking of the Huera R, that is one of the more recent cars that I actually unlocked. I think I probably talked about this before, maybe not on a stream or something, but I tried to start my Tuatar through the multi-packs that were recently, because it also had 2 other cars in it that I needed to unlock, so I figured, why not? If I don't start the Tuatar, maybe I'll at least unlock another car. And the Huera R was one of them. I have that car at 1 star now. Not great at that star, so probably won't be making a video about it there. It did not do super great in multiplayer, but definitely we shall see. And that was one car that allowed me to get to the 130 total for my video about my garage, which you should also check out if you have not seen it yet. It's kind of funny. I had 129 cars. The day before I needed to record that video and upload it for the 5th anniversary of the game, and I was like, 129 cars does not sound like a good title for a video. Can I just get any car somehow? And the very next day, wouldn't you know it, the Drive Syndicate came out, and I was able to get the Neon for the first car. So thank goodness for the Drive Syndicate. I was able to have a nice title of 130 cars, round even number. Oh, also something cool. I was able to go to an early screening of the new Gran Turismo movie, which is like the first racing video game movie that I've seen in quite a long time. It's a super niche sort of thing, so to get like a full movie out of it, I think is pretty cool. It's not Asphalt 9, but it is Gran Turismo. So I'm planning on probably making a review of it soon on my Furum TV channel, so definitely go subscribe there if you haven't yet. Hopefully, I know I've said this many times, but I'm really gonna try to upload more on there. It just been so busy recently, has not happened, but you know, eventually I do want to kind of grow that channel because I'm very passionate about movies. And especially have become so in the past few years. So I think that would be a very cool way to kind of take my YouTube in the future. Not going to stop uploading here or anything, but just kind of as a separate kind of channel to do something else I'm super interested and passionate about. Spoiler alert, the movie's pretty good. So now it's time for our general review of the 935. Had a ton of fun driving it. The drifting is amazing, the acceleration, handling, and nitro are all really good, with again the handling not being as good as the drifting, but the top speed does hold it back from being a king. It seemed quite competitive in multiplayer though. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like the video if you've enjoyed, and as we get dive bombed by this Tuatar at the last second, consider subscribing for more Asphalt 9, Forza, and other games content, and I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye!